What's going on YouTube? Agent here. With Season 7 coming up, there are going to be many new players trying out Battlefield 2042 for the first time, and perhaps many players making a return. BF 2042 can be chaotic and unpredictable enough even for us more experienced players, let alone new players or people returning after some time off. I've made this video to help these players transition into BF 2042 more smoothly by taking you through 17 gameplay tips and settings that make your transition smoother. And who knows, perhaps some more experienced players may pick up a thing or two. These settings are applicable on PC and console. I will be going over these 17 tips quickly as there are quite a few to get through. As always, if you find this video helpful, please do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments section if there is anything you need clarifying. First up, we have all chats. All chats can be a useful source of information and dialogue where you can gauge what is going on around you. For example, there might be an enemy tank sitting in the objective which needs to be taken out in order to capture the point. Teammates can communicate this across the chat, which will help you win the game. Camera shake. You can turn the camera shake off, which stops the screen shaking when being hit by bullets and explosives. This can help stabilize your screen and therefore still being able to take in information by being able to see what's going on in front of you rather than your screen shaking like a shitting dog. Field of view. Changing your field of view can help with seeing more of what's going on around you without the need to look left and right all the time. However, this can be turned up too high, which turns into a fisheye effect, meaning you won't be able to see enemies in front of you. I would suggest starting with the field of view further away and adjusting incrementally from there if you need to. Aim down sights field of view. If you ever wondered why you see so many YouTubers or streamers look like they don't have recoil, well, it could be that they simply have ADS field of view turned on. If you see here, when I turn it off and aim down sight, my vision is zoomed, giving the effect that I have more recoil. If we turn it on and aim down sight, you can see here that it's giving the illusion that there is less recoil. This paired with pulling the mouse or control down when firing can really help the recoil control. Hold T for extra ammo. When choosing attachments, always make sure that you have all your ammo slots selected. This way, when you are in game and run out of the primary ammo magazines, you can equip your other magazines and then you will rarely run out of ammo. Uniform soldier aiming. I would recommend having this switched off. This is supposed to monitor good muscle memory regardless of FOV, but I'd rather just rely on myself for muscle memory. Damage number visibility. This is especially helpful in gunfights to know how much damage you have given your opponent. A good example of this is in a 1v1 gunfight. If you hit the enemy for 97 damage and he didn't hit you, you know that it will only take one more bullet to kill them. This means that you can take the engagement and trade off shooting each other. Minimap settings. Change the default minimap view distance to medium, then you can actually see where your enemies are coming from. You can also increase the size of your minimap and make sure rotate with view is turned on. A side note is when you start the game, you also want to change the view of the minimap to a larger scale. The default keyboard binding is N. Spotting. You can spot enemies at distance, which will ping them for around 15 seconds on the minimap. This helps your teammates know the enemies are there and can help yourself see the enemy after you have found some cover. If your teammates manage to kill the enemy after you have spotted them, then you will gain an assist. The default key binding for spotting is Q. Sprint slide. You can run by holding down the run key. On my keyboard it is shift. You can then press it again to sprint, but your aim down sight will be slower if you need to get your gun up mid-sprint. You can also slide from this sprint by pressing the crouch key. On my keyboard, this is control. Another tip is after sprinting, you can gain extra momentum by sprinting, jumping, and then sliding. This can be useful when running past corners to get the advantage on your enemies. Soldier zoom aim sensitivity. I would recommend not having this too high or too low, and whatever you have it set to, stick to that sensitivity. Over time, this will ensure muscle memory kicks in when needing those snappy aims. Vehicle aim sensitivity. Don't forget to adjust your vehicle aim sensitivity in the menu as well. I prefer to have this lower than my soldier sensitivity aim, but again go with best what works for you. Motion blur. Turning down the motion blur will help you spot enemies when there is an explosion, or you rotate your soldiers to face another direction. This can be the difference between spotting an enemy or an enemy spotting you. HUD placements. You can change the HUD placements on your screen. Examples of where this may be useful is to move the HUD placements further out to the edges of your screen so you can see more of what's going on in front of you. Although a pro tip is to move the minimap screen closer to the center of the screen so that you don't have to look as far away from the center to view the minimap and take in valuable information. Secondary weapon key binding. Often your clip will run dry in 2042, so you need a button that preferably your finger sits on by default to quickly swap to your secondary weapon. I have binded a key that sits on the side of my mouse so I can equip my sidearm with no hesitation. This has saved me thousands of times in tricky 1v1 situations. Call in a ranger or support vehicle. Depending which game mode you are on, you can earn points and call in rangers or support vehicles. The key that is binded by default is B. Crosshair thickness. You want your crosshair thick enough to where you can see it, and if you need to, you can also change the colour of the crosshair in the menu. Thanks for watching the video. If you found this useful, please like, comment and subscribe. See you next time.